Hey guys, welcome back to TCG University and the Final Fantasy Study Hall. Today I'm joined with
Byron,
Travis,
Noah,
and I'm James. So before we get to the podcast, we'll go over our little dailies. We got make sure to support us on Facebook, YouTube, and Patreon, all under TCG University. Make sure to check out the podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Spotify. If there's a podcast service we're not on, make sure to just let us know. We'll get it out there. Make sure to rate us 5 stars. Ooh, all jazzy stuff. Thanks so much to our Patreon junior or higher supporters: Andrew Dang, Clay Cardwell, Jay Rogers, Jarrett Hubbard, Jerome Weeks Jr., Justin Farst, Kat Maria, Kevin Broberg, Lucinda Latika.
you got this.
Letica. Man, Letica. Getting a Letica off of the off screen. Paul Casagrande, Samantha Stevens, Teodora Ruiz, and Tyler Zane Pease. And then we do have 2 sponsors for the show as well. We have Cards Custom Build and Ink Gaming, but more about them later. Get this on here.
Nice.
So, on to the first topic today, guys.
Yep.
COVID-19 and you.
Yeah.
Or actually, just events.
Yes,
COVID-19 and you together forever. Oh boy.
So, due to the recent COVID-19 pandemic,
Hey, what's COVID-19?
it is
For those
also
who don't know.
it is also known as the
beer virus?
novel coronavirus, or novel, whatever.
How's it spelled?
Novel.
E-L?
Novel.
I think.
I think it's novel.
Okay.
origin of the word.
Novel seems like it. Can I hear it in a sentence?
That actually might matter here. Give me a second.
Is this a Novel two L's?
I think it might actually be novel.
I think it might be as well.
I think it's novel
unless I'm crazy.
coronavirus.
Man, that's not going to help me at all. Here, take it. I think it's novel. I also think it's spelled wrong on there.
All right. So.
Anyway.
I'm just going to read their message that they put up. We have some unfortunate news regarding the 2020 FFTCG competitive season in North America.
Oh, no.
With the ongoing situation surrounding COVID-19, novel coronavirus, and our concerns for the health and well-being of the players and staff involved, we have made the decision to postpone the following events. And the 2 events that are being postponed are the Crystal Cup in Tampa, Florida, at Sunshine Games, originally scheduled for April 4th and the 5th, and the L3 Open at Legendary Wolf Games in Omaha, Nebraska. Unfortunately.
Oh, no, that's near us.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's near. Oh, no.
On April 18th and the 19th. And then they go on to say, while we would like to reschedule these events for another time later this year, we are unable to confirm anything at this time. Events during May and later could potentially be rescheduled if things do not settle in the coming weeks. And then they apologized for everyone who was planning on going, but said they wanted to maintain priority of all of their safety for the players and their staff.
I mean,
which
it
makes sense.
Yeah, just basically sucks us up.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, maybe if they just like bought up all the toilet paper and wrapped themselves in it, they'd be safe.
So that's why it's being bought.
Yeah,
out.
that's
Okay,
why
that
it's
makes
getting
sense.
bought out.
But there was a funny joke on our thing where somebody overheard somebody on the last podcast I was on, like literally an hour ago, where somebody was just like, heard somebody say that you have to eat it because it kills the virus.
We'll make biocontainment suits out of rolls of toilet paper.
Actually, I
Perfect.
think the main reason people are buying out toilet paper is because it's
The coming
made in
apocalypse.
China, and they're like, they're gonna shut down the imports. And I mean, it's sooner or later, if it gets any worse, then yeah.
It's
but,
also for like if they they say
self-containment.
self-containment, but like you have to be no one's allowed to leave for like 2 months.
People are buying. So I feel like there's that one person that buys up an entire rack at like Costco or Sam's, and that rack, because they come in bulk, can probably last them for like 2 years, and they only need like one portion for like 6 months maybe to start with.
Oh yeah,
At the worst, you just go pick leaves off trees and stuff. You'll be fine.
People
use some
are
band cards.
people
Band cards.
people are definitely panicking over this, which it's fair. I don't think it's paranoid at all to be worried about this, because obviously
I think
It's better to be
that's-
safe than sorry.
we haven't had anything this bad in recent years at all.
Since the rats in Europe.
I mean, not yet. It's not.
We
that
haven't
bad
had
yet.
anything this bad since SARS.
Yeah. So, which was a long while ago.
20 years? Yeah, I think it's 20 years.
Yeah.
Something like that. It's like late 90s, I believe.
Man.
Yeah.
I said I believe.
Don't quote him on that.
Just put in my opinion.
Just
and you should be
believe I'm wrong.
fine. Just believe I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's fair. It is James.
No solid quotes.
Anyways.
But yeah, so those are the 2 events that are going to be canceled for the upcoming season.
Today. Everything's canceled.
Yeah,
2020
like
is canceled.
in 2020. Oh man, we thought cancel culture was bad last year. Now it's getting hit hard with COVID-19 this year.
True. We also don't know what this means for future events.
Like, you don't even know if you should be buying tickets.
Future
Exactly.
events
soon.
and you.
But I will say it is probably a smart idea to buy tickets now
While they're cheap.
because they're cheap, because people don't want to go on planes, because that's like one of the hot spots for the coronavirus is
Yeah.
like planes and
Whoa,
cruise
whoa,
ships.
Whoa, it's COVID-19. Thank you.
Yeah.
Also known as novel coronavirus.
Well,
Thank
what's
you.
For
a
the-
coronavirus then?
Same thing as SARS. Like, actually, they're both named coronavirus. Just one's labeled as SARS, one's just COVID-19.
Nice.
They both
I
have-
didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's
So
interesting.
they both come from animals. Like that. That's what the main thing is.
Is that a confirmed fact? We can't.
That one's
spread
actually
misinformation.
that one's
Just saying.
actually a confirmed fact.
Okay.
The coronavirus comes from animals.
Wow.
But like, so like,
Damn dirty ape.
your pets right now could have it.
I don't have pets. I have a brother.
Good,
Does that
nice.
count?
I mean, do you count them as a pet?
Potentially depends.
I
You
have
have
a
to take care of it
zoo.
probably.
Give a what?
I have a zoo at home.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
I have 8 chickens, a snake,
Any fish?
3 cats, and a dog.
You have any
You're being
fish?
serious?
I'm dead serious.
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
I thought you. I
thought you were joking.
He's got a petting zoo in his house.
What are the chickens' names?
Come on, kiddos. The chickens?
Yeah.
All right, so we got Footless Fran, Deborah,
I like how you go from Footloose Fred to Deborah. like it's your mom.
Rex, and I don't remember the 4th one. I can't remember right now.
Dinner.
And then we have 4 baby chicks, and so we have.
Aw.
I don't remember the names yet.
That one's
so.
brunch.
And then 2, 3, 4.
Brunch 1, brunch 2, brunch 3, brunch 4.
Snack in case brunch didn't work. Like it wasn't filling enough.
Oh
so yeah,
god.
yeah.
I thought you were joking.
No,
I
I'm
thought you were just
not.
making a zoo
I'm
joke.
really
I
not.
have a lot of
also
pets.
thought-
That's nice.
I
That's
really
pretty sick.
do.
That's
Yeah.
pretty sick.
Huh. That's cool.
Yeah, but pets apparently are carriers. They're not really affected by the disease, but like,
Oh, those lucky
they can carry
sucks.
it. What?
I'd rather not be affected. I'd just be a carrier.
Yes, you know.
I think that used to be a young me with strep. That was bad. I think honestly,
that's a
like
me
I
with
carried it
anything.
and I got my brother sick and my brother carried it and he got me sick and I was like, oh, that was terrible. Nice.
It's an infinite loop.
It was every year at the same time we'd both get it. We have to stay separate for like the 10-day period to cure ourselves.
Damn it. So yeah, for the future of events, this is gonna like it really depends on like how quickly it gets handled. What's the main events after these?
The next Crystal Cup, I think it's the Portland Crystal Cup,
Yeah.
which is the one that I was for sure
Which
planning on going to.
is
Not April. It's
May?
May
Yeah.
like 16th and 17th. I
Yeah,
think?
it's May
Yeah.
16th and the
Yeah.
17th, and
It's
the
like
one after that is in, I believe, July. I think it's a July.
There's one in between there.
I don't think so.
I think there's one in June. Yeah.
I think it'll really all depend on
Anyways, yeah.
if they get a cure fast enough.
Yeah.
I've heard speculation that they're not expecting a cure for like another year to 18 months. But I've also heard speculation of we're close to having a cure, which it's two sides of a spectrum. There's no in between, I guess. It's a year and a half to just like maybe next couple months.
I mean, it also depends on like how many more cases we have by then. Because if the number of cases don't go up that dramatically, they might not like decide to cancel more events just because.
I don't see how there's a way it doesn't.
Well, it just because like as of right now.
June. Oops, sorry.
Oh, okay. So the event's in June. But as of right now, people are obviously scared, and a lot of people are starting to distance themselves from each other in order to stop the spread of things. So maybe that might have enough of an effect to.
I think if
Slow
they
it?
go off of that, then they're just gonna get everybody sick again, anyways. If they do that, like if
I
they
mean,
just go,
maybe.
well, numbers start slowing down. We'll just let everyone. It's gonna be fine, guys. Don't worry. And everyone goes, okay, and then they show up and everybody gets sick.
I mean, they could also just like have screenings. Like every major company that is like hosting major events and still is going through with it has like some form of screening from what I have heard.
How they're supposed
But
to
I
do
mean,
it.
does that screening cost money?
Well, so from what I had heard like on the news and stuff, Trump had been talking with Walmart and other businesses about getting like screenings at places. So we could expect screenings hopefully soon. Free screenings, obviously, because if screenings aren't free, not only are there going to be a lot of people that are just screwed, like shit out of luck with because they don't have health care, but like just people that can't like find the money or time to get to a screening place, or like places not having screenings.
I think the screening place is very dangerous. I think that's a terrible idea.
Uh,
This is not the screening podcast. We should not talk about screening. I just think the screening thing is a bad idea, specifically because of, oh, you're not sick and you want to confirm you're not sick. Here, come to this place where maybe sick people are
So-
going to be constantly.
So I think that is a fair point, but
Yeah.
we're not going to get too into
Yeah,
that,
we need to try not
obviously.
to. We have to stick to more Final Fantasy.
Yeah. But fingers crossed they don't cancel more events, because I would actually like to go to events for this game this year.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, worst comes to worst, hopefully they won't cancel the event in Canada and maybe we could go there, because from what I've heard, they are like the least affected as of right now. Like they have the least amount of cases.
Canadians be running it down, dude.
All
I
the
mean,
extra sugar in the maple syrup.
The constables are hunting.
yeah.
I mean, if it gets worse everywhere else, it might be shutting down like people going into Canada,
Click.
They've
the
al-
that-
which would
that
make it
could-
hard for us.
that could be true.
The iron wall.
We've already
But
shut down the
I
borders
don't-
for EU.
But I don't think that I don't think they would shut down the people coming in from America, at least on our Canadian borders.
I think it depends on like the where you come from. I think
Yeah.
they've shut like I know we've like closed our walls to like EU and stuff from what I believe.
Oh yeah, we have.
And just like nothing outside, and like where you can fly to is very limited.
Yeah, like you have to be an American citizen or someone with a visa in order to be here.
Like it's. I don't think we're gonna. I don't see it happening.
So
I
like
really don't.
with the cancellations that already have happened for Final Fantasy, what does that even mean for like the tournaments that are going to happen? Like, you know, specifically for like nationals and worlds and stuff like that.
Do they
Just-
push those back for other events?
Like,
or
I
do
don't-
they
yeah,
just
I don't know. That's-
schedule them the same.
the ones that are canceled, are they just coming back later, or?
they haven't
'Cause,
really
like-
given us any information
Yeah,
on it, but
and I
like I'm
feel
just
like-
kind of like speculating what could happen.
So
with
as
that.
of now, they are postponed
Yeah.
indefinitely.
But see, I feel like the
Fun word.
biggest issue, quote unquote, with that would be.
And as much as I hate
let's
that
say this all
wording,
blows over super quickly. Probably won't, but let's say it does, and like the tournaments that have been postponed are like come and gone, like their times are past. How would you fit them back into the schedule? Like you don't want
Yeah.
to put them in the off season, and so you'd have to fit them back in the schedule somehow for the competitive season, and like it just crushes too many things together.
Yeah.
Like at that
Like-
point, I think they should just flat out cancel them, and pick back up with something else and hope for the best.
So I kind of agree with that, just because like I really hate the wording of postponed indefinitely, because that leaves so many things up in the air.
Do we need a top for world?
Oh, like invites
Yeah.
and
So
stuff.
for,
Yeah.
Yes.
for worlds, you have to either win the Crystal Cups. I think if you get first place, you
Great
get an
question.
invite.
Yeah.
From Tam off the screen.
You get an invite if you win the Crystal Cup.
Yeah.
To Worlds, and then they also have their nationals. And I don't honestly remember how many of the top get to go to Worlds from nationals. Maybe
I
top
s-
4.
I assume it's top 4.
How many people are at Worlds?
there's a lot.
How does this
I
seem-
think there was like 32, 30.
How many Crystal Cups do we have?
We have 5, 6,
That's,
5.
that's 5 people. Then you have nationals. That's 9 people total. From just
There's
US.
like I think there's other people that are gonna have.
I mean, just like from just US would be 9 people.
yeah,
Yeah.
That
So
doesn't seem like a lot
there's
at
a decent
all.
amount of people from the U.S.
That
I
doesn't
think
seem-
you're.
Well,
That's
they
certain.
they have events in like almost every country though.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, like
Yeah,
it just
even
doesn't seem like a
Australia,
lot,
dude.
yeah.
especially for like a big event.
And,
I
like,
mean,
it's-
9 people is not a lot.
If you take 9 people from every country, that's like
Okay, you can't say every country
it's almost every country.
because there's a lot of countries, Travis. You know how many countries are in Africa, Travis? I don't even know how many countries are in Africa, Travis.
Listen, almost every non-third world country.
Don't hit the mic.
Almost every non-third world country has an FFTCG like Crystal Cup / their own nationals. Yeah. So like the EU has one.
Spain
has one.
Now. I want to find a first world country that just doesn't have one. Just to spite.
It just seems like a lot. It just doesn't seem like a lot. Like
it could be more. Like we could be wrong.
I don't know the exact.
It could just be like any other
but
game. But
like I was thinking more of like
filter process
I'm gonna filter this into Dragon Ball, which is like Dragon Ball has like the Oceanic, you got your European, you got your American, and then I don't know if they have like a Asia one. But
No,
I know
I
the
think
game's different, right?
I think it's just Oceanic, European, and well, they might.
European.
I know for sure there's Oceanic, European, and
American?
North American.
I think they have the same game, but it's in a different game technically. Is what I believe it is. I think that like we pull a lot of shit from that game into the game we have. Mm-hmm. But like I just feel like looking at that, it's just like if you took the top 40 players from every single one of that's 120 people just from each of those national events.
I mean, it could be like top 16 to be fair. Like we're not sure.
I'm just looking at the math and just like
The more the
9
merrier.
people from a country does not seem like a lot.
I mean, to be fair,
I'm gonna write it down. I want to have the facts on it.
to be fair,
need for, like, next
to
time?
kind of reference Weish Wars worlds are only like 50 people
yeah.
at most.
Well, I guess also like this.
Like
I know-
Wars worlds are actually a glorified locals.
I know UFS.
Well, they're not even glorified locals. It's like the size is a glorified local, but like the tournament is like actual like competition.
Well, yeah, but
Like
that is in the words of the competitors themselves.
Oh,
Let me
really?
put that in perspective.
the size frame for like the way for how like what like level of gameplay you're having to play at is very small.
Yeah,
I think
guess-
it's really cool though
it is.
for the way the game is. Like Pokemon does these big like not 1 day events but like 3 day events, and it just like twinkles down kind of like fighting game communities.
Do you know if they sponsor the trips for the people who get invited to Worlds
for Pokemon or
for
Final Fantasy?
for Final Fantasy?
I was talking about Pokemon, so I was really confused.
Well, no, because
I would assume some of them do, not everyone.
because
I feel like if you win first place, it probably are
Crystal Cup
sponsoring
winners be getting Nyom.
it. Yeah.
well, Crystal Cup winners go to nationals, right? And then they have to go to Worlds, right? Oh no, because they get their qualification for Worlds from the
Yeah.
Crystal Cup. Okay, sure.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
like
they
if
get
you have to
first.
get first place though.
Okay.
that's why I was like, the math doesn't add up. If we have 5 Crystal Cups, that's 5 people.
Nice
And only top 4 from Nats get it.
Loser.
It's
So
like 9 people, and that's max. What if somebody from Crystal Cup goes and takes those top 4 spots? What happens then?
Wait.
Goes to the next person
So like,
after.
does it?
They don't. Gatekeeping is
So,
not
okay,
that bad.
is
There's
gatekeeping a thing?
there's a way you can gatekeep, but like obviously if you already have your invite, you don't like it goes down to the next person.
Okay.
Yeah. It goes down to the next person
Okay,
that
okay.
doesn't have it.
So you're guaranteed the 9 spots.
Yeah.
yeah, because in Weiss, if you win a regionals, you get your trip sponsored and paid to Japan fully.
Which was pretty sick.
Yeah. So,
Check out that podcast.
yep. Plug in.
So, like, do you think the main reason they would trickle it down to such a small amount of people is just like to keep everything consistent? Like, I don't think you're gonna see too many people running around with various different decks, so you don't want to see the same thing being played over and over again either. Because
so-
like that's what happened last year.
My point
It was essentially like the 3 same decks: Wolf, Rampier, and Wind Water.
Yeah.
My point with the whole Bushy Road correlation and them paying for trips to Worlds is like, if FFTCG does that for like the Nats winners that go, that saves them money if they have less people that they have to pay for.
Yeah, that's true,
Which
too.
is just a logical idea, being a big business.
I was making a joke. Our main topic is COVID-19, and for like I think the last 10 minutes we've been talking about majors.
It's code 15 and events.
It's
That's
true.
why I put the and events in.
We're
because I knew
basically
that
we're
we
basically just talking about and events at this point. Not
Well,
how the events are
I
affected.
mean, there's
by
so much you're going
COVID-19.
to just talk about
yeah.
COVID-19.
Yeah, I don't think we want to just.
I don't wanna
beat
do
a
an
dead
entire
horse at
podcast,
this point,
yeah.
yeah. So
I mean, technically, I guess we just
You wanna
split
beat a
this up
dead
into
horse?
like two.
That's what I did. I put topic 1 is COVID-19. I just made topic 2. How do majors work?
How do majors work?
So see what happens is when the mom major and the dad major get together,
They create a crystal cup.
They make a minor.
whoa, that's how it's made.
Noah. Oh man. Yeah.
Your parents have a weird name. Daddy
You know,
major,
it's really
mommy
funny.
major.
I find it hilarious because my last name is Minor for those that don't know, but my biological last name is Woods. Could you imagine Woods?
No,
Like it just doesn't. It doesn't.
Noah
You
Woods.
sound
right.
famous.
Noah Wood.
Yeah, dude. James Lewis is my dad, or second cousin twice removed. Oh,
That makes sense.
removed
Noah-
out of my family.
Noah Woods do that.
That
So bad.
he's the son of that one character from Call of Duty.
Shut up. Moving on to topic 2 then.
All
How do
right.
majors work?
That was technically topic 1 and 2 because it was two long ones.
Sit there and talk to
So
us.
topic 3 is I'm moving away from you guys now. Is the tents. So we recently they're for sale now, right? I
they're
definitely
for sale.
looked at
They
one and was
are-
like, hey, that looks cool.
They are for sale. They MSRP at $44.99.
Oh yeah, that's what they're for. $44.99. So it's like 50
They are definitely worth
because
it.
I'm
though.
adding tax on here. $50 because we round up. We don't round down.
$44.99, so it's 45, 7.
Sneeze.
We're all gonna have to get the coronavirus now.
Time to get your flu shots.
2. It's like,
But flu season's over.
it's like 49 and change, I think.
We
48
round
and
up,
change,
50.
something like that. Somewhere between
Roughly $50.
Somewhere
Roughly
between-
$50.
Be prepared to pay $50.
Yeah,
Yeah.
roughly.
I'm not
between-
trying to make it sound terrible. I mean, what we get in it is
All right,
buy
so it's
rate.
pretty worth it. All right, so ready? So in the 10, you get 3 packs from Opus 1, 3 packs from Opus 2, 3 packs from Opus 3, and then 1 pack from Opus 10. And on top of that, you get 3 promos, which one of those promos is just worth it on its own, honestly.
What is it?
Yeah.
Your Shulta.
Yeah, you get a foil for Y'shtola.
Yep. And then you also get Tifa, and then third one, Travis, because I can't pronounce it.
You get a Hreshvelger.
Yes, that.
Perfect.
Yes,
Yep.
Loved it. I cannot
You
say
look
that.
at that, boy.
I want to sound by that. I'm sorry.
Yes, Valgren.
I'm pretty sure it's
Hreshvelger.
German.
I
do we
mean,
have-
yeah,
do we
like
have-
It's
the
actually
way that
probably
it's spelled,
Nordic.
it looks like it.
I mean, it could be, but they're very similar languages.
Somebody
you
pull
have
up
it so I
some.
can pull it up?
I don't. I have all the different packs and stuff. If we want to go.
Well,
through
someone
any
give me
of the cool cards in
Husberger.
them. Hey, you got it. Pull it.
Travis, give me Helsberger.
Yeah. Give us that card. I'm not gonna attempt to pronounce because I'm bad at butchering things. I'm good at butchering things. There we go.
Helsberger.
Speaking of, so you said 1, 2, and 3, right?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, and then
yeah.
Opus 10. One
So,
one pack of Opus 10.
Any key cards out of those opuses that are like really good?
Obviously, I think one of the most important ones from Opus 1 would probably be just Shantoto. 7 CP.
Yeah.
Is it the
backup
good Shantoto?
Yeah,
You
the
get
7
4-drop
CP.
Maria.
You get the good Shantoto in this?
Yeah, well, Opus 1.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Well,
mean
you
from the packs? I
can.
thought you were talking
Yeah,
about
packs.
Get it.
I thought you were talking
No,
about the
no.
promo. I was like,
No, the 3
man,
promos,
that's hella
yeah.
worth.
Yeah, the 3 promos are, I think they're pretty worth it just on their
That
own.
shows its promos, baby.
Well, I was told to look up Hreshvelger.
I wanna
Well,
look at
all
this
3 of
video.
them. You can do all 3. You can open multiple tabs. I believe in you.
But yeah, from Opus 1, you get that Shantoto.
You get Maria.
You get Maria, and you get like some staples that are just really good for like certain elements.
I will say I
You
will
get
feel bad for
Chaos
anybody that gets
and
Riku.
Cosmos as
Yeah.
well.
Oh yeah,
Chaos
Which are
Cosmo- would you
the
say no?
darlings. Riku.
Oh, Riku.
Ban Riku.
There's
Yeah.
also a band Riku, which if you pull it, it's just unlucky.
I
To
mean,
be
you
honest.
also get
Sorry, boyos.
you get Duke Lark for Ice, which is a backup. Don't
You get
get
5-drop
1,000. You get 5-drop Una. Get 2-drop Una.
You get Minwoo.
You get Minwoo.
Yep.
You get Waka as well for water.
Waka Waka Flame?
Waka.
That Prish actually isn't bad.
Yeah, like there's just like that was
Yeah,
just
Kafka's
Opus 1, like, and obviously Opus 2 and 3 have other good cards. Is the Zidane 3-drop is from Opus 3, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or
Oh, dude, you get the 4-drop Vincent.
Oh yeah, the 4-drop
The Opus
Vincent's
2
actually
Vincent?
not bad.
That says that he can't be broken by summons or abilities that don't deal damage. So he just says, "Screw Fanfrit, I'm down."
James.
I pulled it up.
Okay.
Literally from Final Fantasy.
Oh, this card.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought for some reason it was just a
Hreshvelger.
newer version of it. It was like, huh?
No.
It's
Yeah.
it's big dog with tusk, but they're not tusk. They're ear horns.
It's definitely spelled differently on this. Oh, there it is. Okay. Meaning corpse swallower in Old Norse. Commonly
so it is Nordic.
anglicized as
So he's just a
Hreithvelgr,
battlefield vacuum.
is a giant eagle in Norse mythology who causes strong winds.
That is not an eagle.
From the flapping of his wing.
That
from
looks
his
like a
wings.
mammoth with wings.
That looks like
What is
a
it? What is
dog
it?
with mammoth tusk with wings. If I can speak properly,
I would say it looks probably like.
I'd love to say the picture will be.
This
up
one
on
looks
here.
more like it would be like a
Let's hope
griffin.
so.
Like
yeah.
a griffin.
Yeah.
We get. What else do we get out of here?
I thought there was a thing that told me.
Because I'm not super fit. Because I joined the game around Opus 8. I think I joined around Opus.
Yeah, I also joined
Yeah, I
pretty
did because
later.
Opus 9 pre-release came out, and then Opus 10 flew by me, and now we're hitting
You
11.
pulled up Opus 1, 2, and 3, right?
Yeah, 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
Oh, hey, that actual cooler Irving is Irvine, whatever, is an Opus 2. That's solid.
Emperor Zonde is actually a pretty good card as well.
Emperor Zonde?
Yeah.
Let's see. Choose one forward the opponent controls, deal 5k damage. When Emperor Zonde is put from the field to the break zone, choose one forward the opponent controls, deal 9k. Oh, the dude actually just handles Veritas too.
Yeah.
Nice. Cards that handle Veritas?
Are cool.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I don't like Veritas. The second it gets on the board, I want to kill it.
I want to kill it. Dead.
Vegeta, you stole your due. I'm going to kill him. Like, that's how I feel. What else do we get? We get...
You get 5 CP Zac, which is a good card. The Emperor, which is a very good card in its own right.
Oh yeah, the dark
Can I
one.
use specials? Yeah.
Cannot use specials.
And then you play Kimari, or if I'm
Or
pronouncing it
cannot
right,
use
and then
specials
you take
or
their
action
specials.
abilities,
Yeah,
which
and
is
honestly,
relevant.
you don't see that too much now, anyways.
Yeah.
But it's still a good card.
You get
It's still
Beardy
very-
Fusoya. I call it Beardy Fusoya because that thing's just a giant beard with a head.
Yeah.
Fusoya is an interesting build around, actually, to be perfectly
Choose
honest.
a forward, deal it 7k damage. Fusoya hits you.
If you play mono EX burst with that card, it's actually really cool.
Yeah, because they do. Poppy doesn't say they don't.
Yep.
There also used to be a build for water that you play with that, and then
So you play Noctis with that card, and it's really good.
Uh-oh, I hit the wrong button.
what's the water build that you can play with that? Because like there's a water forward that puts a summon on top of your deck, and then you just use Fusoya, and then you obviously you know what I'm
Come on,
talking
you got
about.
this. You can do it. I believe in you.
I
F-
believe
it's like starts with an E.
Tip of your tongue, dude. Cloud of Darkness.
I actually believe it's a Leviathan. That it's draw 2 stack 1. It's a 3.
no,
CP.
there's a forward. It's
there's
like
a-
it's like Ephraim or something like that.
Oh, dude, we get Delita.
I don't actually know.
Anyways, essentially what that deck did is like you play that forward, stack something on top of your deck, and then you use Fusoya, and then obviously the card that you're taking as damage is gonna activate because you put a summon EX burst up there.
Oh yeah, there's also Chaos Walker at the wheel, which is a very good card.
That's not what I'm putting my hands up for if you're thinking that, though. It's the Galoof.
That Galoof is
5-drop
cool.
Galoof is hilarious. It's not the one that says you can't be broken. I can't be broken on my turn. It's the one that says the more cards in hand that I have, the cooler he is.
Oh, 3-drop Bartz is a good card
Oh,
too.
dude, they have Trey as well.
And that's a legend in Opus 3.
7's in there too, right? Is 7
Yeah.
Opus 4? Or?
I don't know why I'm getting excited over the card. You guys
Zidane
have,
is
but they
also
have-
Opus
Yeah,
3.
yeah. So
They
I was
have
right on
the
that
cool
one.
Dorgan that just removes himself and removes a card. I love that one for
That
one.
card's interesting.
Kelger Dorgan, I'm down.
The card seems really good. For the
Yeah,
same reason
it's
why I
really
like
nice.
Chaos.
Yeah.
Zolera is really good.
Genesis is in Opus 3.
Genesis and Zolera.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Zolera is
Oh,
pretty
what's this
good.
card?
Zolaire the
What's
Death
Kuja do?
Seraph.
I've seen that Kuja before.
Kuja, when he attacks.
Well, yeah,
choose a
because I put
forward,
it in your
you
deck.
you pay one. If you do, dole it. When Kuja attacks, choose a forward. You pay an ice. If you do, freeze it. So you just can't you do the same? You just pay one.
Isn't Fanfred Opus 3?
Yeah, you say that name around me one more time, and I know something.
I'm pretty sure Fanfret
1 + 1
The
is 2.
3
Told you I
CP.
know something.
3 CP Fanfret is in Opus
You
3.
look it up on
4.
your phone. Get out
Oh,
of here.
Lena is Opus 3.
Oh yeah, that Lena's really good.
Yeah.
Ah, dude, the mimic's in here. Fame mimic.
Like honestly,
Go.
like you get really good value from just getting the 10. It's
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's just a lot of really, really nice and really cool cards in here.
Yep.
Ooh, what's Jack do? Oh, Jack sucks. He does. I'm sorry. The only reason you're playing Jack is just so you can have a cadet on field.
All right, squirrel up.
Oh, yo, 6-drop Kelger with haste that just says play a Job Warrior or Dawn Warrior from hand. I'm down.
I think a bunch of the Gilgameshes came out in pre-Opus or Opus 3 and before as well. Like 4
yeah.
CP Gilgamesh or the
Which
the,
one? There's so
The
many
one's the
different
starter,
ones.
isn't it?
The
Is that
multi-element Gilgamesh, the one that
No,
lets you pay a
that's
bunch
the only
of
one that
different
came
elements.
out. He's an Opus 3. That's the only one.
Okay. Grand Cross Egg's Death.
At least for
Where's that
Heroes
7
and
drop?
Legends.
Grand Cross Egg's Death is also a really cool build around. He has a special that says pay 6 lightning and discard a copy of him to remove every other character on the field and in the break zone from the game except for himself.
You're looking at a real cool 7 drop down there. What was it? It said 7.
I'm not gonna be able to find that in time. I took off the Heroes and Legends filter, and I just wanted to see what everything else that you could potentially.
all right. So
grab
how do
is.
you guys feel about the 10 for newer players?
you want to build a collection and you have the money, I don't think it's a terrible idea. It's essentially less than half the price of a box.
Those
for
promos are really good too.
9 packs plus promos.
Yeah.
10 packs.
10 packs
10.
plus promos. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think while it's good value for newer players, I don't think it's the most
Efficient way.
efficient way for a player to get into a game, especially if they plan on playing L3 as their main format, which is definitely marketed a lot more towards newer players.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
you're playing L3,
This is like
don't
the
play this.
opposite of L3.
Yeah. This is
Yeah.
L3's.
This
cousin
is
twice
F3.
removed.
This is F3.
This is
First
the
three.
first
First three.
first three, last three. That's pretty good, James.
No, that was me just using basic math. L3
I
is
like
the
it.
last three. F3 is the first
I
three.
like
Can you
it.
find where the X is?
X3.
X3.
Well, don't worry,
My
X will
events.
give it to you.
My event standing.
Oh yeah, that's right.
X3.
5-drop Vincent's in here too.
Yeah, but definitely like if you're wanting to play standard, it's definitely good value because you get the first 3 opuses, and
They're
then
pretty good.
you also get your solo. Like that card just, it's so good in any deck that you can
and
mix with
you
wind.
could technically you could get most of mono win chocobos built, which is actually a decent deck still.
Well, you say that, but there's only
There's the main pieces.
It'll show the ones later, but there is the 1-drop and the 3-drop.
The 1-drop and
Chocobo.
the 3-drop are pretty
The
pretty
3-drop
important.
is like your biggest piece.
I believe there's also the searcher in the one of these sets.
Ooh, Kefka. Oh no.
The Izana or whatever, I believe, is in Opus.
It's whichever one the cadets showed up in because it's part of that line.
Okay, so it definitely was pre.
Hey, both the Kate sets are in there.
Or
Let's go.
It was definitely in Opus 3 or before.
Oh,
th-
okay. All
see
the
if we
Gogi.
can- Yeah.
But they're not heroes or legends. That's why
Yeah.
these ones are.
Yeah, see, there's a
commons and
6-drop
rares.
Kane. It's just not the good one.
Yeah.
And it also is
7
not
CP
11.
Odin's pretty good. 4 CP Odin's also pretty good.
7 CP Odin's always been the coolest dude to hit on any experts to tell you what.
Yeah. Blitz
Tell you
Ace
what?
Titus is also pretty cool.
Titus gains brave, can attack as many times as your points of damage. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, so you get to 6
Suicide
damage.
Blitz Ace, baby. Let's do
You
it.
get to 6 damage and then you one-shot them. Pop, 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 pop. Hope they don't hit something to remove your Titus.
Well, don't just rely on the Titus then.
Dude,
Just play
you
like
get
an
a Vaughn.
Aluba.
This is one of my favorite Vaughns.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Vaughn
I
enters
really
the
like
field,
this
draw
one.
1 card. When Vaughn forms the party and attacks, draw 1 card, then discard 1 from hand.
I mean, it's cool, I guess.
He costs 5. I think that's
Yeah,
the
you
only
have to.
issue.
He's a combo character. You have to combo him with other
James
things.
likes combos, dude. I mean, not like we've talked about.
Well, so here's the thing. I hate combos in every
Water
other
kick
fucking
Tifa.
game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And Zangan,
Oh, yeah.
the perfect matchup.
There's actually a bunch of 7 stuff.
Yeah,
That was
dude.
cool shit. Hey, look, Leviathan.
2
Dolphin
CP,
blow.
2 CP Yuna's also in this
Look,
set.
a Moog.
Oh,
Look at that
there's
Moog.
Minwoo.
Yep.
We already mentioned Minwoo, though. We mentioned it.
See that Mog?
He's our boy, Minwoo.
Roy?
Waka's up
That
oh,
that
there's your
Yuna. Yeah.
Is Roy our boy?
Roy's our boy.
There's so
Wrong
like
game.
even within these sets, there's like a if you wanted to build just out of these sets with like the packs
Or
and
Gills.
stuff.
Dang it, not again.
To like play with friends, there's like
Ah.
really cool stuff that you can do with like Fairy plus the 2 CP unit that taps when you play a summon to draw a card. It's like you can play Fairy, tap it to draw a card, untap it, and then you draw a card from Fairy, so you can just do it again. It's pretty cool.
Is it though?
Yes.
I'm just kidding. Sorry, I'm trying to encapsulate everything on something. This, Noel, he has haste.
You could also build Mono
Haste.
Gilgamesh out of these, except you would need to get the other 2
there's
CP
the Jesse
Gilgamesh.
that I used to replace the 2-drop. I think this Jesse's pretty okay.
It's fine.
Jesse enters the field. Well, if you don't see your Barretts, you play Jesse.
It's fine.
Listen here, Jesse.
Vincent attacks. Vincent gains first strike until the end of the turn. That's pretty okay.
Oh,
Valfor.
Valifor and the busted Pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
that,
that's
that,
right.
That
She's a
card
starter.
is insane.
That's why she wasn't showing up.
Yep.
Valfor's a starter too.
Yep.
Look
That
at that
starter's
mod.
pretty good.
So you won't get
Jill
that in the
Nabat.
packs though.
I think
You
you
won't,
just like
but-
saying
Yeah.
Jill Nabat.
Yeah.
I think that's a good card.
Well, it's not the one that says you can't be pinged.
Oh, I guess you get
back
hollow
row.
pain.
Yeah, you
Actually-
could
you can technically get hollow pain.
Belias is in there, dude. The
The-
almost good Belias, because the 1-drop's a bit better now.
Yeah.
I honestly like the 2-drop better.
Hey, you hush your mouth. Don't talk to me like that.
Dude,
The
I'm
2
telling
drop's
you.
good. The 2 drop is good. Like you can't.
You
deny
get old
that.
man.
Whoa, first strike ninja. When he's blocked, he hits something for 6. That's insane.
Yeah, old man.
Poison
old
of the
man
old
does.
man.
Tella, put him into the break zone, choose the forward, deal. Oh wow,
That's pretty cool.
for 4.
It's a 4 CP backup.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. Hey, you're moving way too fast there. My eyes.
You have
aren't
the
that
Sage
quick.
that gives haste.
You do. There's just a lot of very good value
2 CP
cards
of
in
Frit.
here.
Frit.
Yeah.
I recognize that card.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's worth the money. Like, there's just a lot of good
Yeah,
value cards.
Renoa,
that, like,
and there's
instead
probably
of
gonna be a
buying the
Laguna.
singles, you can get you can potentially pull play sets.
Yeah.
Like
So
if you're
good
wanting
Laguna's
to
gonna be
play
here.
standard, I think you should definitely buy. Like if you're a newer player and you want to play standard, you should buy it because it'll give you a chance to get some of the older cards.
Yeah.
And then you also get your Stella, which is just good value. And that's like honest, like if you're also a trader, that card people will
that
want to
card
trade
is
for that card.
massive trade
Yeah.
value.
Shamazi.
If I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Which card?
Like, and
Your Stola?
honestly,
Oh,
with
yeah.
with the,
3 CP your Stola.
Three-
from
3
the
CP win
promo.
your Stola?
Yeah.
Oh heck yeah.
with the
Yeah.
up and coming
I'm
rise
glad I
of
have my two.
FF7 and Birthing Pod Cloud existing, Tifa, that foil Tifa is going to be more prevalent as well.
Yeah.
What foil Tifa?
It
The
comes
promo
with
card.
it comes with the foil Tifa promo.
Hey, I gotta double
That's
check
full
this
From
art.
Opus
because
8.
Yeah.
I'm slightly brain dead sometimes. This one drop ninja. If we have the new Edge that comes out, he's still 1, right? Because Edge makes it -1, but it doesn't say there's a minimum.
Okay, then that means it's just 0.
Oh, it's just free.
Yes.
Nice. It's just
So
like
it's a
ninja.
it's a free shuriken counter. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, because there's a lot of one. That's why you play the 1-drop haster, because it's a free shuriken counter and he has haste and KB block. Bam, boom.
All right, so you can play that card, but you still definitely play the other one because the
Well,
3
you play both.
Yeah.
But obviously you can sack one off. I'm guessing with whatever you want to play. Just play Fanford, I guess.
Yeah.
We'll get there sooner.
I mean, at worst, you can ping it with your own
This
edge.
edge looks cool.
yeah, exactly.
All right. Final thoughts. 1 out of 10. Where do you rate the
Wait,
10?
is Mione in this as well?
Yeah,
Okay. Mione is also a really
wait, let me double
busted
check.
card.
Yang.
I think she is.
You can
Monk.
you can play Mione
A
and
little bit of monk deck.
I
Zidane.
could have lied to you. I could have
All right.
hardcore lied to you.
Rate the 10. 1
Rate,
to 10.
Go.
7.
No.
Why 7?
Why?
I mean, I know we've been going through this, but I want a definitive, quick, easy explanation.
Because there are 2 formats and it's good for standard but not for L3.
Good job. Good job. Noah?
Yeah, Noah.
Pass. Byron?
James?
Travis.
Yeah, Travis, what do you rate it?
Because it's good for standard, bad for L3. Pass.
No, I can agree with 7.
7.
It's good for one of the formats. It doesn't work for the currently bad one. Sorry. It's whatever. My opinion. I could be
The
wrong.
idea is you say the controversial thing into the cough
Once
and not out loud.
What do you mean? I'm doing it right. L3 is bad. Duh.
once Opus 11 comes out, I think L3 is actually a fine format, but it's still not better than standard.
Ninjas.
I think honestly,
Ninjas will be my L3 deck.
L3 was made as a cop out for all the people complaining about card text in a card game, which, for the record, I think is stupid.
Oh, dude,
But-
there's busted VVs on here too.
All right, James, final thoughts.
I'd say 7
7.
from my basic knowledge of what I know so far. Mainly because older sets should not mean as much as newer sets. But I also like the idea of older sets being playable. It's really cool.
Oh yeah, you like
But-
that the most about this game.
I
too.
mean,
'Cause,
Now everything's
nothing's
playable?
rotated out, yeah.
Yeah.
So cool.
I like that. I also like that it plays like Modern and Magic, where almost everything's playable. Like, I think that's really cool.
I mean, I'm going to put a giant asterisk against that because I know not everything's playable in this game. I've read some of these cards.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, some are just trash.
I mean,
Some of them don't have
Well-
abilities.
well, when I say playable, I
Poker.
mean playable, as in you could put them in your standard deck and have it be legal.
Yeah, you can do that with any card game. I can take 50 random cards from any card game and do that.
That's not true.
It totally is.
I
The
want
deck
you
can be
to.
legal.
I
doesn't
want.
mean the deck has to operate.
I
I can
want-
literally just like put a UFS deck together.
I
full of
want
random
you
stuff.
to go to a standard Magic tournament and put fetch lands in your deck and call your deck a legal deck.
I can pick up 50 cards from, like, if I buy standard packs and put 50 of those cards together, I can take it to a thing.
You could,
Take it to a thing.
but that's so.
words.
That isn't true for.
Playable just means nothing.
That isn't true for like. So in perspective of like Magic having a bunch of different formats, you couldn't take like your modern stuff into standard and have it still be legal. When I say playable, I mean you could put the cards in a deck and take it to a tournament and get your entry pack. You might get dunked on, but you're still getting your entry pack, and you're not auto losing. Well, you are, but you're not automatically
He's lying to
losing.
himself is what he's doing.
You're not disqualified, is what I'm trying.
So you're telling
to
me
say.
I could buy these tids, get 50 cards, and show up to an L3 tournament? Bullshit.
That's literally not what I said.
That doesn't make
James.
it playable.
You can show up the standard.
I love
I could
these
show up
too.
the standard.
You can show up the standard.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
But like just
why
having
play
an
L3 when you can just play standard?
So much better.
It is.
just why create a pack that has the first three? Like I get like
Standard,
having the longevity of your packs is cool,
Oh, okay.
but like when trying to push like L3 as a format and having
start
that
looking up some.
being a thing, why push out the first three packs you've ever created? Why push those and not the newest stuff?
That I think that's a fair point, and I definitely
Yeah,
agree
'cause
with that.
it's still in
all that
print,
tells
isn't
me,
it?
all that tells me is they want to stop making those packs. That's all that tells me.
Yeah, I
Is
can
they
see
want to
that.
they want to try and run their product out and not remake it and just focus on newer stuff.
Yeah.
Which I think is still fine as a card game. Like it's one thing I was really.
Stuff has to go out.
It
of
was
print
the
eventually.
coolest. It's one of the coolest things I thought about this game was just like, oh shit, you mean all these packs are always being printed? That's
Yeah.
sick as fuck. That's terrible money spending. Like
It
it's
definitely
terrible.
is. I mean, to be fair, it is Square Enix, but
And
everything has to go out of print sometimes. Even a company as big as Wizards has realized that.
Kingdom Hearts isn't out of print yet. I mean, I know it's not a card game, but Square Enix is milking that one. They're gonna milk what they can.
I mean,
they're always
Not trying to trash talk. I'm down for the game. I like the game.
but anyways,
I would give it 8 out of 10 just because of Ystella.
yeah,
That's literally
that is fair.
Because like I just honestly want to play standard, and I'm not a big fan of L3, but I was gonna play in the tournaments for it just because it's in Omaha, Nebraska for the L3
Yeah,
Open.
you might as
You
well.
said
at that
7
point.
out of 10, like the rest of us.
8.
7.
8 out of 10 because
What
Ystella.
What I heard was 7.
I heard 8. I'm pretty sure I said 8.
It's all right. He didn't mess up our Holy Trinity. We had
What about
7
this is holy? You already messed it up there.
Anyways, I believe that's it for this topic.
Yep.
So we just
Yeah, we
wanna
beat the
move-
dead horse.
We just want to move in.
We'll
to
move on to
second
our
with
final
Sonic.
topic, but first to the ads.
a word from our sponsors.
We have sponsors.
Well, we technically did.
Yeah,
They'll
we
get
beat
this.
that topic hard, like Sega's beating Sonic, right into the ground.
You mean like your dad beat you?
Haha, joke's on you. He never could. He got caught beforehand.
Damn.
So one is an Opus 3 and the other's an Opus 9. So I still hate L3.
Oh,
Down.
so what is an Opus 3?
Yeah, fanfare. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
What? Oh, yeah, sure. I also sent you a message. It's irrelevant, so you don't have to look at it. Don't look at it.
He's
Don't
gonna
do
look
it.
at
Don't do it.
Last
I feel
time,
like you telling him not to do it makes him want to do it more, and you know that.
Well, I want him to see it because it was relevant to what he was saying earlier, but it's
last
This is a
topic
dumbass
summons
joke.
are busted. I've seen him.
Summons are
summons.
stupid.
Summons are busted.
Hashtag fuck Fanford.
Hashtag.
I don't even know if we're allowed to say that.
We can say anything.
I mean, I think we can. You're allowed to express your opinions. This is a podcast.
Well, yeah, but like I didn't.
It's
know
not like
if-
we're
if-
allowed to
if we're,
curse,
rated
not allowed to
PG-13
curse.
or
YouTube
something.
So-
censors the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have not yet.
I have
That's
not
probably
either. I'm
not
pretty
true.
sure.
He probably hasn't. I don't
Facts.
think yours is
It
true.
okay. I don't like having such a negative opinion about like
Fuck
that
Fanford.
sounds very hashtagable, and that sounds lame and very.
I mean, I did say hashtag fuck Fanford.
He did.
I don't even know what the card does.
That's less okay, but like, man, favorite fucking sucks.
Well, I'll read it on the podcast.
All right, here we go.
All right.
And
3, 2, 1.
And that's the news. All right, so on to our next. Hush. On to our next topic.
Good
Fanfrit
joke.
sucks. I think maybe.
Sorta.
Can you explain?
Summons are a
The
little.
topic is are summons good? How good are summons?
Are
What's the-
summons
what's
good?
the,
And are they too good?
Yes.
So I think.
Next topic.
I personally think that summons are a little too good. I think that if forwards are your workhorse then like your theoretical workhorse, obviously not an actual horse. Let me change that analogy a little bit.
Why the fuck did it become a real horse?
Where are you going with this?
So if forwards,
Do you want us to just restart this half of the
No,
podcast?
no.
Or
No, I
Way
don't.
Worse than my Kingdom
So-
Hearts analogy there.
So if forwards are your wagon, then
Hold on,
summons are the wheels on your wagon that get you where you need to go.
does that make you the horse then?
We are not a horse.
Where's
in
the
a
horse? Where's the horse coming to this?
Yeah, like how's the wagon moving?
God damn.
Like
The
what gets
wagon
wheels-
has wheels.
What gets the wheels moving?
What's your
Obviously, you're
engine?
moving down a hill at breakneck speeds.
How did we get it to the,
only
hill?
way.
We pushed it.
So we're the
with the
workhorse.
horse. With the horse.
We
We're
just
the
took a whole
horse.
horse and just shoved it there.
But anyways, so forwards are strong, and they definitely are what deals your opponent damage
how you kill people.
and wins the game.
Hi-ya.
Asterisk. Summons are your recursion, typically, your removal, typically. Obviously, there are forwards that do these things too, but they are not usually as efficient as a summon, like Famfrit Segway.
Fanfrit sucks.
Why do you
Byron.
Why do you hate Famfrit? What does Famfrit even do?
So-
These are actual real thoughts in my head. What does Famfrit do?
So as someone who plays Famfrit a lot,
No, you are biased.
I'm not biased.
As
I'm
someone-
also biased.
I will.
As someone who doesn't
So,
know what the
James.
fuck it does, can you read it?
There you
I
go,
was
James.
literally
Cool.
going to
Read it out
explain
loud for the audience.
6-drop Famfrit, 9 set,
No,
113.
read 3, then read 6. It has to go that order.
because
Oh, 3
6
then,
is the
okay.
big daddy.
So 3-drop Famfrit, the Darkening Cloud, set 3. EX burst, both players select one forward they control and put it in the break zone. That seems nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6-drop Famfrit, 9 set. Each player selects up to 2 forwards or monsters he has and puts them into the break zone. Ooh, that's also nuts.
Hold on.
It
Oh
doubles-
yeah, it says monsters. I just realized I could have casted that when you just had one forward and Death Gaze.
Your butt. Also, do you have to... All right, I'm dumb, and I'm probably sure there's a ruling for it, but do you actually have to select if it says up to?
No. As far as I
So
know.
If
so-
I have
if-
no forwards and you have 2 forwards, you have
Yeah.
to sack your 2, and I don't have to sack anything because
Yeah.
it says up to. But you
so it has to
have
be 2 or
choose.
less essentially. So like depending on how many forwards or
They
monsters.
should have, because like with Dragon Ball, if it says up to, you can just choose 0 for stuff. So, I still hate Famfrit, but
Yeah.
says select as many as possible as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Put them into the break zone.
Yep.
So that's why it's 2 or less essentially
Yep.
for the 6-drop Famfrit, obviously.
Yeah.
That's really cool because like the first Famfrit, it's a 3-drop that kills 1, and the other one's a 6-drop that kills 2.
yeah, I'll
it
kill
doubles.
my Viking and draw a card.
It doubles.
I'll kill my Porum and
Cool.
my Viking and draw 2 cards
You're-
essentially
you're
and get
really-
another Famfrit back.
And the cool thing is like, so if you have no Famfrits in your break zone, then and you have Porum. All right. So let's say 3-drop Famfrit. You play Famfrit, and since you don't have one, you know you would think that you wouldn't be able to pick up a summon from your break zone, right? But since when you cast Famfrit, it goes to your break zone.
And
Before
pour-
activating
before
the
act-
Porum.
yep.
Yep.
So then
and Porum
Porum
goes on the stack
and then-
after it resolves.
And then you're able to pick up that
Yep.
Famfrit that you played without having another summon in your break zone.
Nuts.
Yes. That is the premise of the deck that I got
Hashtag
second and
value.
first with
Yeah.
this week. Is
Real
Famfrit's a really
fun.
strong card.
I'm gonna let you guys gush over that though. I just think that card is allowed to do too much too easily with the type of deck it has. Because you
So-
play
Real nuts.
you play it primarily in any water deck that just draws a lot, and Famfrit just says I'm gonna sack a Viking to draw more cards to do more
Yep.
stuff to you.
That's why I play it.
It removes your opponent's board, nets you more cards. There's
It
really
breaks
no
you even.
downside because
It breaks
the-
you even. I don't
yeah.
think it nets you.
Well, it can depending.
I mean, I think it's still even. Like if he hits Porum and a Viking, the Viking replaces itself by drawing, and the Porum picks up the Famfrit. Or,
Yeah, but like
the Famfrit.
think of like them hitting 2 Viking. Like say if they had the guys out beforehand,
Yeah.
they just paid for Famfrit
So-
in quote unquote the cheapest or most efficient way. Then they just
So
add
they
2
just
cards that
repla-
can do better stuff.
So
Just draw 2
Noah,
cards.
the reason why you think it goes positive or goes plus is because whenever I'm casting that card, I'm doing it with an Une and a Viking on board and drawing 2 extra cards before I blow up the Viking to draw another card.
So with other stuff, it pluses you. There you go.
Yes. So with additional resources, it pluses you.
With cool cards.
You say
Yeah.
it like it's hard
Comes
to get those
cool
additional.
response-
It's not.
Responsibilities.
It's not.
And it's honestly like even if you're not plussing off of it yourself, like you're still can get rid of.
You're negging your opponent, and that's what matters.
And like they maybe they played a 6-drop forward and they had to pay a lot of resources for it, and then you're just playing a 2-drop. If you're playing a mono water, you're playing the 2 CP, which makes it one less cost. So then you're playing a 2 CP card of cost to get rid of a 6 CP forward.
Like I get it. It's haha. I punished my opponent for wasting so many resources, but then again, it's. Haha, I punished my opponent, but I'm literally only wasting maybe 1 or 2 resources when they wasted way more than need be.
I honestly think that Famfrit would not be as strong as it is if it wasn't able
to choose.
Or if
you chose,
if Hexproof got around it, Famfrit would not be as good of a card because like to put it in a Magic analogy, the card is literally just Innocent Blood, so it gets around what is our quote-unquote hexproof in this game. So things like Alua, it gets around Alua's hexproof shield. It gets around...
Explain hexproof
so,
for you.
So hexproof, for anyone that doesn't know, is a Magic mechanic that scales over to basically every other card game that has the same wording that says, this card cannot be targeted by stuff.
So essentially, like for Final Fantasy, like some of the more cards that are important is Arden, 7 CP Arden forward, which says your opponent can't target this card, but I'm not essentially targeting it. You're putting it yourself.
7 CP Arden doesn't say it can't be targeted. It says it can't be broken. But it can still be placed.
It's because it's putting it into the
and that's another reason why 6 CP or just Famfrit in general is really strong. Because it places into the break zone, which is different than actually breaking the card itself.
Yep.
Nuts.
Yep. So it does not trigger effects that say...
cannot be broken.
Yeah. It doesn't... It gets around stuff that says can't be broken. Yes. So...
trust me. I know what that card does.
Outside of that, other notable summons that we can discuss
Titan.
are 5 CP Titan.
Titan's become a staple.
Which
for a lot of Earth
which is a 5 CP Earth summon that says EX Burst. Choose a forward you control and a forward an opponent controls. The forward that you control gets 2k, and it fights the forward the opponent controls, or deals damage equal to its power to the forward the opponent controls.
He just pings it.
Yep. He just kills it. And then
you're evil.
It's a real good one.
You
and
don't have
then
to reset this.
It's a real good summon.
And then 7 CP Odin, as well as also a pretty good summon. It's a little costly, but it just says choose a forward, break it, and is also an EX burst.
I think that's the reason that it's so good is because it's an EX burst.
Yeah.
Because like honestly, I don't. You could, but it's usually in like desperate times. Essentially, when you're gonna cast the 7.
Yeah.
Usually, you just hit them on EX burst. You play stuff that can stack them, and you just.
It's also kind of broken because this is so like I'm going back to Famfrit, but like Famfrit's at up to, which is also really nuts.
Yeah.
Like,
Which
you don't
means
have
that
to have anything.
You don't have to have anything.
Yeah.
So like you could do it with no cost to yourself almost.
I think Kusith is also a really strong summon. Just says choose a forward or backup in your break zone and add it to your hand, and it's also an EX burst.
Well, I personally think Mist Dragon's also really good.
Mist Dragon, being
sure.
so versatile,
Mist Dragon's
strong.
able to stop recursion. It nets you a card.
It can, yeah.
I'm trying to find it on here because I don't remember the exact wording for it. There's the third one, but I can't remember what the third one is. Here we go.
Yeah.
Choose a forward you control. Duel it. Doesn't receive any damage. Remove the cards in your opponent's break zone from the game, and then draw a card.
And you get to choose 2, right? Or you select one of the 3.
Yeah, so you remove and draw. You choose a forward, can't be damaged, or you choose a summon to cost 5 or less and cancel the effects.
Yeah, which there are a lot of... Hey, when summons are really good, canceling those summons is also really good.
Yeah,
so
honestly.
Case in point. 1 CP Zalera is also a very strong card.
For sure.
What's that do? Oh, it's right here.
Yeah. That card is really strong.
That's dumb, because like all the forwards that actually matter are above those costs. That's pretty funny.
Pretty much.
Then you also have all your Ifrits and Ifrita.
Yeah, that package is good.
Shivas are really cool.
Man, that's like a really rough package in L3 too. Is the Ifrit Frida because you just barely hit the right number.
Fire Water, I think, is a really good deck in L3 with the Ifrita
Arc.
package. Arc is a cool card.
Yeah. Again, welcome to TCG University. I'm James, captain of the meme squad.
So I
James
love
wants
this
to
card.
say.
I love this
That's my
card
joke for the
too,
week.
but it's not amazing. It's definitely not one of the better summons. Medine is a good summon though, which does something similar to Arc.
Yeah, but he's cheaper.
Yep, much cheaper normally.
I mean,
Although
you either pay the 8 or you pay 10 and you do the same thing.
Although the
essentially.
point of Arc is that it replaces itself by drawing you a bunch of cards optimally.
Yeah, Medine doesn't. Medine's usually just supposed to cost you, what, 6?
Yes.
And then you just ping the entire board.
Yeah. I think that there are also a lot of good support for summons. So, like, Fusoya, 7 CP Fusoya that says you can cast your summons for CP of any color. It's really strong. It also is basically a 3 CP forward because when it comes into play, you reveal the top 2 cards of your deck and shoot a forward equal to the combined total cost of the stuff you revealed times 1,000. So that's really strong.
Ping something for 7, for 9.
And then you add those cards to your hand. So
That's where it regains its net. I think Alexander's not half bad either.
Alexander is a good utility card. Yeah.
Hecaton chair.
Hecaton Chair. Oh,
Yeah.
I love that card.
Hecatons are good.
I remember making Mason hate that card because he was playing a Moogle deck and he had the 4 CP backup Moogle that makes all Moogles count for whatever color, and I just Hecaton cheered it away every time.
Yeah.
It's like, why do you keep getting rid of my Moogles? I was like,
Just being able to remove your opponent's resources is really good. So
Yeah.
that's why I think
There's,
Recognition is good.
I'll do Chiva.
Valifor.
Yeah.
Valifor is also
Valifor,
really
Diabolos.
solid. Yeah. Like those are all just a lot of strong cards that are worth it. If you're playing really small dudes, Shimazi's also really good.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
very like Chocobos, Shimazi's probably a really good card to play.
I mean, Shimazi's just really good for going wide strategies because it's like, hey, you can't block this. Nice.
your guys are too big. Haha.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a Shiva.
Yeah.
It's a Shiva I haven't seen yet.
This man loves Shivas.
He
Did
certainly
you just
does.
type in Shiva or did you?
No, I just.
I mean,
That's
kept
the
going.
new Shiva.
So 4 CP Shiva that says you can
Freeze
only
3.
Yeah, Dole and Freeze 3, but you can only cast it during your turn. That card's really strong.
I still think that card is. I think the card's cool. I just think that you're doling and freezing 3 cards for 4 just seems. I don't know.
Really
Seems-
good.
Yeah, like way better than it should be.
Yeah.
I'd say 5, personally.
The restriction on it is not really a restriction.
It's not. It doesn't matter if it's your
'Cause
opponent's turn.
You're still time walking your opponent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like only on your turn. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You don't have a turn. Okay, draw cards. I'm gonna do it again. You still don't have a turn. Okay, draw cards. Like,
Yep, that's definitely how my game against Chris McKinney went.
what's this one? Choose a duel forward. Deal it 6 damage. If your opponent has received 5 points of damage or more, deal it 9. I like the Shiva that just deals it more damage for each Shiva in your drop. I just feel like that's smarter.
That card is cool.
Like this one's cool
I
'cause
play
it just
that
says
one.
ping for 6, but I'd rather just
I
Double
also see
freeze.
you're a man of culture.
But
I am your
overall,
vice captain.
Vice captain of the Moon
another
Squad.
summon I want to mention before we start discussing whether summons are actually like too good is Bahamut Zero.
What's Bahamut Zero do again?
Destroy an active forward, dole their entire board.
Oh yeah, the lightning one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that card is actually really,
Isn't
really
that
strong.
6?
It's
Does it
6.
cost 6?
Cost
It's
6. Yeah.
6 and you
dumb.
have to
So
dump a dude.
I feel like out of the broken ones we've mentioned, out of the broken ones we mentioned currently, Bahamut Zero seems to have the most balanced cost, in my opinion, depending on what you decide to break.
No, you don't break anything. You break an opponent's forward and then
Oh.
dole their board.
Okay, yeah, never mind. Nope, I thought it was break one of your forwards, pay 6, dole their board.
Nope.
No.
Yeah, no, the card's dumb.
Nuts.
Pay
Yeah,
6.
you break one of their active forwards and then
Haha,
dole their entire
I kill
board.
your big dude, and then dole everything else.
Yep.
I get an extra turn.
Cards actually nuts.
I don't like that.
It literally has the ability to win a game by itself in the same way that like 4 CP Shiva does.
Zach plays that a lot, doesn't he?
The Bahamut Zero, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, he sure does.
Nuts.
Summons are running too rampant.
But getting into the next portion of this topic, which is do we believe summons are too good? I think the answer is frankly yes.
Yep.
I think that summons are a little too good because A, they are very strong on their own just through their effects, like things like Bahamut Zero, destroying their best forward and doling their board. Shiva, Dole Freeze 3, Famfrit, Break 1 or Break 2, depending on which Famfrit, and the fact that they are probably one of the most supported overall, like, overarching archetypes in the game. So, like, Summoners is a thing. Yuna cares a lot about summons.
Terra.
Also cares a lot about summons.
There's an Une that does it.
There's-
Summons.
Yep. There's an Une that has arguably one of the most powerful generic effects in any card game, which is
Play a summoned old dude.
when
Flickering.
you play a summon during your turn, once per turn, choose one of your forwards, remove it from the game, and then bring it back in Dole.
That's right.
Yep. So it flickers it and lets you reuse the come into play effects, which is probably one of the most powerful things you can do in any card game, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, it's real fun playing against Travis when he Famfrits, and I'm like, I'll just sack this dude and he'll kill Veritas. It's whatever. That's fine. And then he goes, Veritas flickers back in. Don't forget about that. And I was like, nice. I'll just kill this dude and you'll sack Veritas. It's fine.
Yeah, I love playing 6 CP Famfrit and wiping their board of 4 characters.
We play cadets, we build the board, and for some reason, we never see the answers at the right moment.
Build them up and knock them down.
All I have to do is just be like 7. Veritas doesn't work, but no, can't
Nope.
hit 7s in the right time frame.
If you don't see your answers, sometimes you just die. Feels bad, man.
It
You can
feels
play
good
more
to-
7s.
It feels really cool to play 8 for free and then play like an ace or something, and he's just like, Famfrit, and I'm like, 8 doesn't matter anymore because 8 just dies because I have to choose.
Yep.
Which that's
70
that's
did.
one of my biggest issues, because when I play Dragon Ball, for instance, there's a 7-drop Android 13 that says on play your opponent chooses one of their battle cards and kills it.
Yeah.
But that's still your skill that's doing it.
Yeah.
So that card can still just be like, nah, dude, I barrier can't be targeted.
Yeah.
Because your skill's doing it. It's not like that with this game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Since it's making me choose my own dudes, and I'm like, that's dumb.
Yep.
That's a loop to get around that I don't like, but I have no choice but to deal with it.
Yep. Card's very strong, very abusable. Summons are very abusable.
Summons, I don't want to say there's not a lot to stop summons, but what there is very not situational. It takes a small amount of setup, or it's somewhat pricey depending. Like Mist Dragon is cool.
Or it's specific, so it doesn't stop the big flashy summons.
Yeah, like Mist Dragon doesn't stop 6 CP Famfrit.
Yep. Or Bahamut Zero.
But like some of the stuff that does stop those, like if you hit it off an EX burst, if it has an EX burst, you can't stop it.
Yeah.
So like, here's like one thing I was thinking about is that, do you think that the power level of summons would be a little bit more fair if all of them did not have EX burst on them?
Yes. I also think that they would be a lot weaker if they didn't have
Some
probably
of
the
them
most
need it.
support in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's a good example. Shane had his monster deck, which is essentially just monsters and summons. You played it? Have you played it?
I
Tom?
played
Yeah.
against it, yeah.
That deck just it's essentially a Famfrit abuse deck.
Yeah.
It just casts like a Leviathan Famfrit. It casts whatever it needs to remove your board and plays monsters that will swing at you. You actually don't need
yeah.
forwards.
It plays 3 CP Famfrit, but it doesn't play 6 CP
Summons
Famfrit.
are the wagon and monsters are the wheel on that one.
Yeah.
But what's the workhorse? What's the workhorse?
Asterix.
Asterisk. Yeah. It doesn't play 6 CP Famfrit because it actually does make you sack monsters, but the 3 CP one does not.
Yeah.
Because monsters were not that relevant back then. Because there were not a lot of them. So
Monsters are also just really hard. That's something for a later day, but monsters also aren't super easy to get rid of either.
Yep,
There's
they
like
sure aren't.
I want to say very few cards that I've seen that deal
Yep.
with them, and if they do, they only get rid of like one
Yeah.
for a lot. And
Yep.
it's like a secondary effect, so it usually kills like smaller ones,
Yeah.
like magic pots or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think summons are good for sure. There's just too many that dominate the game. Like if I sit across from somebody and they're playing a water deck, I'm gonna see Famfrit. I'm gonna know that my board's not really gonna be a thing.
I think if all the summons were as good as Famfrit and company, I would be a lot more okay with Famfrit being
so
as
you're
good
in
as
the-
it is.
You're in the buff up philosophy, not the
Well,
nerf down.
Yeah, because I would rather the game have a lot of things that are busted than just a bunch of bland, underpowered things. Like I'm always in the camp of buff instead of nerf. Like If everything is busted, nothing is busted.
If
Asterisk.
everyone's a hero, nobody is.
If I'm not the hero, nobody's the hero.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think if you nerf things down, then like it changes how everything just interacts with itself.
I mean, it also just makes the game less fun, to be perfectly honest. Like,
we're playing Final Fantasy. We want super big, spectacular, cool things.
yes,
but
we want flashy things to happen. Like, that's honestly the thing I love the most about playing this lightning ice water deck, was that it just does a bunch of flashy things like clearing my opponent's board for free and blinking my summons. It also technically has an infinite, but it's not an infinite.
He just named the biggest problem. For free.
For free.
Yeah.
For free.
Byron, you're one of our resident water players. I mean, how do you feel about
It's free real estate.
I mean, not just fan for it, but like the big dudes that are just there, that just dominate. You think we buff everything up or we nerf those down?
Honestly, like, I think buffing is just fine, because then it just gives everyone somewhat of the same tools.
Yep.
And like, you're right, it does make it a lot more fun to just play with cooler stuff.
Like, I wiped your board, and you're like, okay, I'll play something that, I don't know, kills cards out of your hand.
Yeah.
Or wipes your board, haha.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's really hard to deal with the fact of, like, your opponent's playing an element with better summons sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I know Earth has a lot, and Earth has some really strong summons, but they're all, in comparison, pretty
Tame.
average, pretty tame.
Yeah.
And then you have things like Famfrits or Bahamut Zeros, or, I mean, even if you want to go with Arcs for this man over here. Like, you have the higher cost ones that just replace themselves or do a lot more.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It just seems weird. Like Diabolos. Diabolos says, I'll cast it for free, essentially.
Yeah. Diabolos is another really strong summon that gets a lot of abuse.
Valifor casts itself for free and pings the board for 2k.
A lot of the time, that card
And then if it
casts
kills
itself
something,
for actually
it gets
negative
removed.
3.
So, like, if it pings a Viking or something, they don't, I mean, no, they still draw a card, but like Porum and stuff like that, they don't get their summons back. It just removes them.
A lot of the time, Valifor actually gets casted for negative 3 CP because you have 5 backups. So you just tap all your backups for another thing, and then you pay 2 CP, Valifor, ready all my backups.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
it's really strong.
You're like thinking hard over there.
No.
He's got the big thinking cap on.
What about you, James? You find anything like, what do you think?
About-
Should they be buffed up or nerfed down for summons?
I just want things to be even. I don't play enough to really tell if things are too broken or not. Like, obviously the Famfrit thing is really nuts, but I think it's more nuts because, like, obviously you don't get to choose, your opponent chooses. That's always been a thing in card games. It avoids anything that directly interacts with it if your opponent chooses themselves. It just obviously avoids all that, so that's really kind of unfair. And it says up to. You're not forced to. So, like, if you only have one and they have 2, you're able to just play it
Yep.
instead of you both have to have the 2.
That's the worst part about it. Like, there are cards in Dragon Ball. Like, one of the Broly leaders says for his ability to work, you have to sack one of your guys and one of your opponent's guys for that to work. But, like, Famfrit just doesn't
ignores
care.
it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I keep going back to Famfrit, but that card really annoys me.
Card's really strong.
I think one of my, I can't say it's balanced, but one of my favorite Earth summons is it Zeramus? Zeromus?
The 7 CP
Yeah, the
one.
7 CP one.
That card's really cool.
So
yeah.
if you're playing a deck that, like, deals you damage, or you just initially take a lot of damage before your deck goes online, that card's super cool because it gives you I believe it's just a forward equal to the damage you've taken, and then you pop one of your opponent's dudes of the same cost.
So it's a monster reborn that also doubles as a removal spell for
Yeah.
7 CP, which is like
And
the
it's also
same
an
thing
EX
as like it's the same thing as Phoenix basically, except it's based on the amount of damage you've taken.
Mm-hmm.
As to where Phoenix is just a hard, hey, deal this a bunch of or break this and then get a forward back.
Like, it's not super busted, but it's really good.
I mean, it also doesn't help that summons have one of the best recursion pieces in the game in the form of Citra.
Yeah, that's true.
Citra and Porum are playable in the same shell and extremely strong together.
I did mention it in the pre-show, even though the deck's garbage right now. The ability to infinitely loop your opponent if they don't have an instant answer with Citra, One Drop Thief, and Valfor is really funny.
Yeah, so to basically explain it, with 5 CP Valor and 3 CP Citra, 5 CP Valor says bounce all the forwards on both players' boards back to their hand.
So it gets around, can't be targeted, or
Yep.
can't be chosen because it hits everything.
And if you have 5 backups, you draw 2 cards for every turn. So you play a 1 CP Thief that says on play your opponent mills 1. You play 3 CP Citra, which says grab a summon from your break zone. And then you play Valfor, and you have enough CP to do those 3 cards every single turn until your opponent mills out. And it's basically infinite because you draw 2 cards every turn, and they always mill out before you do because you're milling them 1.
Yep.
So.
And if they're playing water, they're drawing because Viking says you have to.
Yep, sure does.
I think also a big part of the summons too is that there's a lot of good supporting cards that just
picks up summons, doesn't
that just help it out.
No, it doesn't. It picks up forwards and backups.
Okay.
It's the same wording as Reagan.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But
Oh,
yeah,
so
they
it's just
definitely
like-
have like the most support out of any of the overarching archetypes.
Like, they might not have the most cards, but, like, yeah. I mean, just look at the Ifrits.
Yeah.
Those
mean,
guys just do a lot for very little.
You can
Quote, unquote.
under fire water, you can literally play 12 different things that say pick up a summon from your break zone and also all have an EX burst. Or no, you can play 9 because card limits 3. But my point still stands. You can play 9 different things that all have EX burst, pick up a summon from your break zone.
Mm-hmm.
Which would be 4 CP Fire Terra, 3 CP Citra, and 2 CP Porum. So
Yeah.
I think I agree with the whole buffing thing, as I've stated earlier. Summons are a real problem that need to be addressed personally. That's just my biggest take on it. If they aren't addressed, then the game will be fine. The game will still survive, but it's an uphill battle against a lot of decks just because they play a not superior element, just a summon
that's
in an element.
yeah, that's superior to other summons.
Like the element could be complete garbage, but the summon can be like the best part about the element, and it just carries the deck usually. So yeah.
All right. So let's try and close this topic out.
Any last thoughts?
I think that summons are too good.
I hate summons. No, I'm just kidding. I like summons. I hate Fanfrit. But we've been through that like 17 times already, so I hope that's ingrained in your
Is that like
guys'
your trigger word now?
It's not a trigger word. It's a trigger card. I see it and I just like...
Fanfrit.
It's not working. Sorry, man. Damn. Sooner or later, I'll snap from that too.
Shivas are cool.
Yeah, I think
Shivas are cool?
summons are
Yeah.
they're just too good, I think.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
hopefully, I don't know, other stuff comes out that, stops more summons, I guess.
Yeah, I guess if there's just more interactions against them,
Yeah.
then it'd be fine.
Yeah.
Every type of element should have something.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if every single element does have something.
Like
I know
a good one.
I know
Yeah.
Earth's got a decent amount, but
Yeah, they got Lael,
Mist Dragon.
Mist Dragon,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's about it.
Yep.
Thanks for checking out the podcast, guys. If you like it, let us know. If you guys have anything you want us to have us talk about, let us know down in the comments. Make sure to check out the next podcast next week, and we'll see you guys in the post show. Stay learned.
See ya.
Peace.
See ya.